Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Conor McGilligan channel. And I'm not on my own for once. I'm joined by the ever-present, gorgeous, lovely, Barnsley-toned man on my right/left. It's Callum Fowler. How are you doing, mate?
I come in peace. Before anybody gives me some flack, guys, I am not going to abuse you today.
You're all right, mate. It's a neutral channel, this. So giving the
Donald
Trump.
I'm all right here. Fuck Leeds.
Donald Trump. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Even though it kind of hurts a little bit. I got my Holland top on, not my Leeds top on for this one. How you doing, mate? All good?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. You?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It feels. Do we talk about Barnsley? Do we bring that elephant into the room? Yeah, go on. Let's talk about Barnsley for a little bit. Let's talk about your season, mate. What that's been like.
There's nothing to say.
Club icon, the legend's back in charge, though, isn't he?
But we were just on about off camera about when he put one past you before we went, and then you were singing about him getting sold it more, and then you were sold. But now finally he's back. Finally,
the king.
We got sold a dream, you know. I bought my season ticket when he signed for us as a player last season. I bought it that day, played once, and then retired. So I got stiffed. I got absolutely stiffed. But next season we're going up, and this time next year we'll both be coming into the same league again.
Yeah, we said that. Me and Cal were speaking off air, and I said to him, worst case scenario, and it's a likely scenario. My club Leeds, unfortunately, come down, but let's hope they don't. But then Barnes, but you've been promising it for years, mate. You've been, you coming back?
No, I mean it this time, though.
Biggest club in League One, all this sort of riff-raff.
No, being serious this time. I promise you. This is the one.
This is the one. Kayla Dunn's Barmy Army, if you keep hold of him.
This is the one.
Right, Championship, mate. What do you make of it? It's been your predictions, like you did a bit of a sort of review of your predictions. I did it not long ago as well. I had some absolute shockers in there. I had Blackburn finishing 17th.
I went down.
I had the team that we're going to speak about here. I had Sunderland, I think, in about 16th. They finished 4th. I think I had Luton to win the league.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not just me.
Some stinkers, but we do get dogs abuse for it. I certainly got abuse for it. But yeah, it's been a weird league. Do you think it's been weaker this season? And do you think it's been as entertaining? I think it's been a mad end, hasn't it?
It's been entertaining, yeah. I think the top end's weaker. Like the playoff chasing sides, I don't think any of them are genuinely that good.
Yeah.
Or Bristol City. I don't think Bristol City, as we saw in playoffs, I don't think they're that good either. The top three are, especially top two. They're obviously quality, and no side can get near them really. But I don't think the standard is that good. I think it'll be better next year.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, last season I felt it was a little bit better. You had the runaway train, didn't you, when it came to Ipswich? I know you mentioned the best side you've ever seen at League One. I completely agree with that. They were, I mean, under McKenna, they were ridiculous. It was just like the sequences, the patterns of play. It wasn't always just about that caliber of player. It was just about the system. It was just, it was so well thought out. It was so attacking. I won't compare it to Bielsa because I know that'll rattle you, but similarities. But yeah, mate, it was just all that attack really with some decent defensive pedigree in there. But then obviously Leicester that season, so many quality players. I mean, when you had like Ndidi in there, Fatawu, Mavadidi, Vardy, it was kind of like you were looking at it and thinking, my goodness, Leeds obviously.
They went up and got worse, Leicester and all.
Yeah. And you made a good point as well when you were talking about Sunderland coming into the playoffs, and I think you were saying, look, if you're out of form, that doesn't mean that you can compare to Southampton, really, because Southampton went that season like 25 game unbeaten run, and they had the caliber to kill teams, didn't they? So I think that it was miles better the year before, wasn't it? I think.
But then I've obviously been proved wrong on that because Sunderland then went and did a job on Coventry twice. You know what I mean? I don't know how they've done it, Sunderland. I don't know how they've just snapped the fingers and turned into that. I don't get it.
Do you know what, Kat? I think that when they played up against Burnley at Turf Moor in particular, when Isidore missed those pens and Trafford saved them, I reckon when they played Sheffield United, because I think they played them, didn't they? Was it late last year and then early this year? It was like one of the quick turnaround fixtures. They lost at Sheffield United and then they beat them at the Stadium of Light with injuries. And then they played us at Ellen Road. And I still think it's probably the toughest game we've had at Ellen Road. I thought they were so good and so in control for a lot of it. We were quite lucky in that game. But I think when you look at Sunderland, it's weird how they can, and it's probably right to touch on them first, but it's weird how they can go from such highs. And I know they got through Coventry. I know they did over the two legs, but it's still not that level of performance, in my opinion, that you've seen from Sunderland at stages this season. It's definitely, I feel like, a little bit of a decline, even though they're in the playoff final.
Looks so different, though. because there was such like an high pressing side, and I think maybe getting turned over, by like Burnley and Leeds and Coventry more recently. I think that's what's made them swap from being high pressing and a lot of risk to now just sitting in a low block and playing up front with them two that are just rapid to try and get him behind. I struggle to see an high scoring game though with this.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because I think they'll both just be scared of conceding, really.
I think Mundell's going to be big, and him being back.
Yeah.
It's massive that he's back. He's quality, and you even saw that in the Coventry game. I thought as soon as he came on, it pushed Coventry back, didn't it? It pushed Van Ewyck back on that right-hand side a little bit, and I thought it started getting a bit of joy. Do you know, it's a weird one. I got a bit of grief for saying this as well, because I think he got like 2 assists or whatever and a few key passes. Enzo Lefebvre, for the hype that was put behind him and the kind of level of which everybody was like, it was hysteria, want it behind him. It was like Enzo Lefebvre. Yeah. I was similar. I was like, flipping out, what an addition. This is Roma, like played in Europe recently. I'd like to see more from him. And I think we've struggled to see that really, even when he's been back from injury. I don't know how you feel about that.
Thing is, I recognise the name, but I can't say I've ever watched him before he come to Sunderland. So I'm buying into hype just based on what everybody else is saying. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I do agree with what you're saying, but then I think we like moving away from that. I think Bellingham gets a lot of stick as well.
Yeah,
just because of his last name. I generally think he's very good. The potential's obviously there, but see, I thought they'd lose to Coventry just based on the midfield aspect, and that they're all, apart from Bellingham, they're all quite small technical players where they're big physical blokes, aren't they, Cov? Yeah. And that's same as Sheffield United. I don't know if they'd struggle going up against like Sousa, just a big animal against somebody like that.
Do you think when you look at that Cov side, that Sunderland side, do you reckon, like, so I look at like Trey Hume, I look at Sirkin, Bellingham, you could even look at like Meander's so good in him. Meander's such a player. Do you think any of those could? Because I look at them and I think, because they're young, they've got a lot of potential. They're bought in on this data recruitment model, aren't they? Sunderland, it's quite similar to that of Brentford when they're in the Championship. Yeah. Do you think some of them will be able to acclimatise to the Premier League? So I think they could be picked off in the summer, regardless.
Yeah, probably. Trey Hume probably definitely could. I think he's one of the standouts in his position for the league, really. Like they've got a lot of youngers though as well, aren't they? Even ones that they haven't bought per se.
Yeah.
But they've got like Chris Rigg, Dan Neil. Like Patterson's fallen off a little bit, hasn't he? Really, keeper.
English Mellier.
Yeah. Well, is Ballard a Sunderland boy?
I don't know if he's a Sunderland. I think he's from down south. I think they got him from Millwall.
You're right. Yeah, you did when you were a kid. Yeah.
You should know. You love Millwall.
I do love Millwall. I don't love that much to know like history of all players to ever put shirt on. Yeah, I don't know if they'll get picked to bits though. Sunderland aren't like, they're not in loads of debt. They're not going to be on huge wages, these boys, are they?
No.
Like, and I know for like huge club, you can look at Leeds as an example when you had to sell Somerville and Ruta, but you'd have to sell them, weren't you? Really? Does Sunderland have to sell? Really?
That's true. I think with that model as well, when you've seen it with the likes of like Mundell coming in, like you've just said, like Ballard, it feels like they can identify proper talent on low wages and that maybe other clubs at this level aren't looking at. And that's why I think if they, worst case scenario from Cal, if they stay down and they get rid of like a Bellingham for 20-25 million quid.
I'm going to say that's numbers you're looking at.
Yeah, it is, in it, and that's going to carry numbers. Yeah, like Isidore as well could be another one. But you feel that, I don't know, they're on this trajectory right now, I think, Sunderland, where even if it doesn't happen now, I'm not saying it won't, but even if it doesn't happen now, it's going to be close for a minute. They're going to be so strong next season, I think.
Oh yeah, so like you said, they're all young lads and all, so they're all coming and like they're all growing together. Yeah. It's Labry's first season in this league as well. Like, we can't forget that. And also, I think he got it tactically bang on against Coventry, and he's adapted, like we said, from being an high pressing side to a low block and playing on counters like quite quickly. So I feel like it's more when, not if, for Sunderland, like going up.
Yeah, me too.
Like you said, even if it's not this year, it won't be long.
How mad that Cov game. I know he got it right, and he did get it right, Labry's. But my God, they rode the luck in that second game, didn't they? I thought Cov were really good.
Yeah, but they're just putting crosses in Coventry, aren't they? They couldn't break them down, really. They just resort to lumping it in 24/7. So I don't know. I don't think there's much Sunderland could have changed, really. Like you said, they did ride the luck, but there's not they can do, really. Putting Ballard in would just genius. All he did was just bounce stuff off his ear 24/7, didn't he?
He did, yeah. No, he was brilliant. But it feels like there's a few individual matchups for this game as well. From a like neutral perspective, I kind of looked at it and I thought I want it to be a Sunderland Sheffield final. I think, Cal, to be honest, Coventry getting, and I think last time Coventry played Sheffield, I think it was 3-1 at Bramall Lane, but I don't think they had Radoni. I don't think they had a couple of others in that side. I'm not sure Mason Clark was fit, Hadji Wright. So it might have been a different Coventry, but I just thought Coventry against Sheffield at Wembley, I'd have given it to Sheffield every day and twice on a Sunday, quoting Tyson Fury there. But I feel like now you got Sunderland in there, it's maybe a little bit more equal, a few more matchups.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United even, I think the psychological side of it that could get them more than anything. Because like personnel-wise, they finished 14 points in front of Sunderland, haven't they, anyway? So they've got them really, squad-wise, you'd think. It's a very tough one to call. I wouldn't know. I do agree with you now thinking about it, but at the same time, I think it'll be a low-scoring game, whereas Coventry one could have had a bit more going for it aspect, I think, from Coventry.
Chris Wilder then, Cal, your manager of the season, mate?
No.
Is it not? Or what about? Yeah, I think you mentioned that they're almost like the team that you didn't expect to get to that standard of which they'd be at. So I guess Wilder's got to be up there, Annie, when it comes to that conversation.
Yeah, up there. I don't think he should win it yet. if they get promoted, who knows? I'd get it Eustace, me, like for Derby and Blackburn. But yeah, I didn't think Sheffield United would do as well as they have done. I think that's fair to say. I think I had him 18th before the season started.
Did you have 18th?
I had him 18th. That was before transfer window had shut. Just put that one out there. The transfer window had not shut.
Was it after the like signed Jamie Shackleton? You were thinking that was going to be the starting right back sort of thing?
Yeah, the first couple of signings were like, is this it? Yeah. I didn't think Campbell would do as well as he has either. I can't lie on that one. A free from Stoke, and he's just keeping him fit in it. But the Cooper one were big. I think the Burrows one were big. They've made some very good signings, Sheffield United, for not a lot of money, really. And again, wages, I don't think they'll be on massive ones either. Some of them.
Yeah. I think
he's done a very good job.
I think Burrows is probably the standout in a £3 million Peterborough. I think he got League One Player of the Year, didn't he? I think, he's done. Yeah, he's done really well. I think it's interesting though. I mean, I was speaking to a mutual friend of ours, Jim, and he was saying that he'd give him that start in the Premier League, and I think you got to be careful with stuff like that, haven't you, Cal? Because if they were to get up, that step up, we've seen it with Leif Davis. Like, he's been all right this season. Don't get me wrong, League One, Championship, he was unbelievable, but stepping up to the Premier League, it's positioning, it's awareness, it's duels. That step up is huge. And when you look at Sheffield United's squad, like we just spoke about Sunderland's squad, how much do you think they genuinely need to do, and sort of how many Premier League ready starters do you think they have as well?
But but saying that, it's like if you look at Sheffield United's squad, you can't change all 11 and make all 11 quality players, can you, that are good enough? So it's if you like ranking them by position on who needs change at least, I'd think Burrows, Cooper, Sousa, Amer are probably your four up there if they can keep them, that you don't really need to change. But yeah, you're right. You've got to really. It's same with like Wrexham coming up now. If they want to challenge top end Championship, they've got to change all 11 realistically. But they can sort of do it at that level. Sheffield United, I don't think there's anything they can possibly do if they had to go up to stay up. I don't. I think it's just, and I think Sheffield United fans know that realistically.
And to be fair, you have said the same with Leeds as well, haven't you? To be fair,
yeah, it's not even like a hatred for. Well, it is. It's part of that. But it's not. I don't like Leeds and Sheffield United. I feel sorry for the fans that are going up and thinking you've got to put up with VAR for a start and all the stuff that comes with that. But knowing that you're going to get tonked majority of weeks and there's nothing you can do about it really is tough.
Can you bridge the gap then? Can anyone bridge the gap anymore? Or is it just got too big?
So. I think Leeds are the best chance by a mile, but I still don't think so.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? When you kind of look at, let's say, if Sunderland were to go up and Leeds were to go up, just in terms of bringing revenue in as well, because we know that goes against PSR, which puts us probably in a little bit of a better situation. It's madness. Yeah, I mean, it's pathetic, really. It just gets stronger and stronger and stronger financially for all the other 17 teams, and the teams coming up just can't compete, really. So yeah, it's about 10 out of 10 recruitment in it. It's managerial continuity, maybe. I know there's and ahhings over some of the. I mean, you look at the managers coming up as well. I mean, how tricky will it be for if Wilder's to come up, Labries, Parker, and Farker to even just sustain throughout the season? It's going to be mad tough, isn't it?
It is. It's horrible. It's awful. It's horrible to even think about, knowing that you're going to have this really good season, getting promoted to like Southampton. Scenes of them at Wembley against you all last year, and then like 5 games in, you're like, I wish we wouldn't have bothered.
It's pointless though, wasn't it?
And,
Might as well
it is.
let us go up.
Yeah, it's pointless. Like I said with Sheffield United, if you look for that 11, who is good enough at Premier League, really, that you think?
Yeah, the only one, if he was fit, because he's a runner and he's athletic, would be like Vinny Souza, I think. But
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure on Burrows. Hamer, yeah, quality wise, but is he fit enough? You know, is he fit enough throughout the season? That's another question.
I agree with that. I think Cooper is.
Yeah,
Cooper and Souza probably fit the built for it a little bit more. Hamer could get away with it, I think. But then after that, you're struggling. Maybe Burrows, but you're struggling.
Get Hamer some Ozempic or something like that. Shove that in his mouth. Make him lose somewhere. But yeah, I think Sheffield United's chances going into this. It's I think the bookies' favourites, aren't they? Sunderland are going to take about 150 million fans down there. They won't take as many as Leeds do, though. Joking. I knew that'd wind you up. But yeah, they'll take Sunderland and Durham and all the boroughs around down to Wembley and probably a bit of Newcastle as well. But yeah, does that play into their advantage a little bit, Cal? I mean, the fact that there's just going to be look, we know that there's probably going to be a split at Wembley on the day, but look, we know down there it's just going to be. I mean, there'll be Sheffield United fans down there, but they're going to be outnumbered, aren't they, by Sunderland?
Yeah, but do you think that means anything though? Fans, they've got like Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton. Yeah. They're all pushing for Europe, and where all these massive clubs are just sat dwindling in like Championship and League One. Bradford sat in League Two forever with highest attendance ever. So I don't think it matters that much. I do think the psychological thing is going to be with Sheffield United, just because of like how crap the record is, and Wilder being a fan, I think might play into it a little bit. Because they've been in it 10 times and lost every time.
I know, and he's. What have you made of his year? It's been the most bizarre thing, because I said I think it was the Greenkin thing we did, and it was like, what manager would you want going into these last like 10, 12 games? And I went Wilder, and that's based on previous with us and them, Leeds and Sheffield United, obviously. And I said, yeah, he just feels like he'd be able to motivate the group. He's like one of the teammates as well. It doesn't feel like there'd be that boundary between manager and sort of player. And that kind of fits into the last 10, 12 games when it comes to like management. But he's melted a little bit, and there's been a few cracks, hasn't there, with Wilder? I mean, it's been mad to watch, really.
But I think with Sheffield, you never read or there's never anything negative about players ever. It's always just talking about him. And I think he takes flack for squad quite well by playing like pantomime villain and talking like he does. I think he plays into it and protects his squad quite well by doing it.
I think he does it on purpose.
I quite like him.
I think he does it on purpose a little bit.
Yeah. I think he does it so attention's on him and not his squad.
Yeah. No,
I like him.
Yeah, I like Wilder. He's a bit of a lovable.
He's still an egg, but I like him.
Yeah, he says some mad things, but he's once again, it's like looking at the start of the season, the exodus they had, like 15 players leaving, and what they've managed to do has been proper impressive. Yeah, I think, Cal, this game, I've got a feeling. Like you say, I've got a feeling it's going to be low scoring. I think Sunderland might do it.
Really?
Yeah. I've got a feeling. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Right.
Honestly, mate, January, February onwards, I've said, but it depends on Sunderland. If Sunderland are playing, their style that we were just talking about a little bit earlier on, if they're doing this mid to low block thing again, I'm not sure you can do that against Sheffield United. I don't think you can. I think they're too good. But I think if they're playing, if it's what a game we'd be in for if it was just them doing what they were doing earlier on. It was like just not all out attack as such, but fullbacks bombing on forward, overlaps, underlaps, Mundell getting at them, Chris Rigg entering the box every 2 minutes for rebounds and stuff like that. Bellingham going a bit further forward as well, box to box sort of stuff. If they're to do that, there's a vulnerability to them, obviously on the counter attack. But if it is to be maybe the recent Sunderland, I'd edge Sheffield United, but I don't know, maybe they revert back and they're getting squad strength back, aren't they? With like some Mundell and obviously Enzo is fully back now, I guess. I think Ben Broughton Diaz is out for this one, I think, which I don't know how much impact that is, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why mentally I'm edging Sunderland a little bit.
What, for 1-0?
Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, and Ballard's heading
Ballard,
everyone. He's heading everyone and his grandma to keep it out. I mean, do you know what the thing is as well? Do you start Jack Robinson for those throws? Those throws have caused a bit of carnage, haven't they, against Bristol City? But the thing is, Ballard's just going to head everything, isn't it? So, see, but you do Jack Robinson. That's the interesting one. If they start two up top, Meander and Isidore, and Sheffield United have got Robinson at the back, that's where I'd worry for Sheffield United.
It's a red card waiting to happen.
Against Meander, imagine.
Yeah. He's so nippy. Oh, see, I think if someone scores early doors, I think it finishes 1-0. Personally. But I want to be wrong and I want to agree with you, but I think Sheffield United win.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. And I'm not even trying to jinx them, but I think Sheffield United win.
How do you see it going? Do you just see it as like an early goal and that shut up shop sort of thing?
Yeah, like you said, I think Sunderland will will go for how they've played, like last couple of games. I don't think it'll be like the attacking thing. Really, they could play it at crowd, maybe, because like you said, Sunderland are going to have like 8 million fans, and Sheffield United haven't even sold out. Not that means anything.
Have they not? Wow.
No, they took 5,000 more than Barnsley.
Should we get some tickets?
I'm working, mate. Sorry. That's bingo. Now. But yeah, like you said, I think Sheffield United are good enough to break them down. If they are to just sit like that and play for 2-1 counter-attack Sunderland, I think Sheffield United could break them down. I think it'll be 1-0 first 15 minutes Sheffield United, and that's it.
Oh god, I'll be dead, won't it? Feels like
I think it's going to be so anticlimactic, me. I want it to be good, but I don't think it will be.
Who's getting it? Just a bit of a Gus Harmer screamer.
I could see that. Oh, Callum O'Hare.
Oh, yeah.
If he starts him.
Yeah. I could see one of those.
Yeah, aim is an easy one. Aim a screamer, 1-0.
Yeah, I could see one of those two scoring. To be fair, I think bookies have put Sheffield. I think they have as well. I think they put Sheffield United clear favourites. To be honest with you, Sunderland. I think with me, it's very much if it's an old style of play with Sunderland, free flowing, attacking. But it's tournament football, isn't it, Cal? It's tournament football. And that's what Labree's doing now, and I just. Stinks of Southgate, doesn't it? So I just think it's So maybe that's where Sheffield United are going to have the edge. I think if it's early Sunderland, I think that they've got the edge over them, like they showed at Stadium of Light. But yeah, mate. Yeah,
I'm gonna say they were both close games, weren't they, in league and all? 2-1 and a 1-0.
I thought at the Stadium of Light, Sheffield United were the better team. I thought at Bramall Lane, Sunderland were by far the better team. But the funniest thing is that Sheffield United beat them at Bramall Lane and Sunderland beat them at Stadium of Light. So, interestingly, though, played 4-4-2 at the Stadium of Light, and Meander and Isidore up front, and he's changed to that now in the playoffs. So, don't know.
I don't remember that game, though. It was New Year's Day, wasn't it? I'm looking at it now, but I can't remember how it went.
Because you were pissed.
Probably. I can't remember. Was Barnsley playing then? I can't remember.
Who knows?
Whatever. It's good next year.
All right, mate. Well, we'll leave it there. Do you wanna plug your channel? I mean, I'm sure everyone here is subscribed to you anyway, mate. But
if you just type my name in, guys, on YouTube, you just type in Barnsley man raps, then I'll come up.
What it is now? Just type in Barnsley fan.
Just type in Barnsley, and it's just the first guy there. No, Callum Fowler on YouTube, guys, please. Thanks.
There you go. Make sure you do it. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, get your score predictions in the section below. See you in a bit. Cheers.